Welcome to the first full-length episode of What to Play, where I can go completely in-depth about the game in question, so I hope you enjoy. This episode is about The Hunter, which is a realistic hunting simulator. And even if you don't care about hunting, I would still say give this game a shot, because in this video, I don't even have the graphics set all the way up. I actually turned them down just so the frame rate would be good when capturing it with Open Broadcaster. But it is a very beautiful game. Their customer service is very prompt and very polite. There was one time where I had an issue with something. It was when I first started playing, so I don't remember what the issue was, but it was resolved in like 5 minutes, and it was in the middle of the night, so very good customer service. They recently had a big update. They completely overhauled their website, and it looks much better, much more professional now. And you hover over Hunt now. There's single player, and then there's multiplayer, which is co-op, and you can find a multiplayer game, so they don't have to be on your friends list. And because they added co-op, they made some changes to the character models where they actually cast shadows on the ground now. And some of the animations, like with the weapons and everything, are slightly different. So now they actually mirror what the character does. And there's a tutorial, which I highly recommend for beginners because this game is not easy. It is a simulator, and so you have to actually act like you're really hunting. And competitions is interesting. It says harvest the highest scoring mule deer buck with the 44 revolver to win. And there's 791 players participating in this, and you click activate when you want to participate, and then it will track your score in the game. And then when you do something that qualifies towards that competition, it will track in there. And the prizes are in-game cash, different things depending on the competition. So like you wouldn't even actually have to pay for this game if you compete heavily. As you can see, there's a lot of people who actually participate in these competitions. So this game is far from dead. It is highly active with a very big community. It's just one of those games that's really popular, yet you just never hear about it. All of the animals that are featured in this game are mule deer, white-tailed deer, black-tailed deer, turkey, Roosevelt elk, coyote, feral hog, pheasant, black bear, moose, roe deer, wild boar, red deer, brown bear, and rare, which is albino, piebald, and melanistic variants of the species. Weapons, there's a wide variety of rifles, shotguns, bows, and revolvers, and you can have different kinds of ammunition for these weapons. Killing certain animals with certain weapons won't count towards your score, so if that's something you care about, it's something that you might want to keep in mind. For example, killing a pheasant with a 300 bolt action rifle, it's considered an unethical kill because it basically just obliterates the pheasant, so it doesn't count. It's a simulator, so it takes into account like how it would be in real life. And if you don't care about your score on the game and what it keeps track on the website, then by all means obliterate a pheasant. But if you do care, it's just something to take into consideration. If you shoot a moose with an arrow, it's not going to kill it, well, most likely not going to kill it on one shot. It's going to hurt it and it's going to run off. And if you can't track that moose down and it gets injured and you never find it, if it just runs off and never dies, that will also count against your score. You can get attacked in this game, by the way, by bears and moose and such, so you can get med packs and stuff for your character in case you do get attacked. I've actually never personally been attacked, but it does happen. And if you go here, you can choose where you want to hunt at, and different areas have different animals within them. And this is the size of the map. The lighter areas are the areas that you can currently spawn at, the ones with the little cabins in them. But they do periodically open new areas, and these areas are not small. They are actually quite large. And here's on the other side, and this top snowy area here actually I think is new. I don't remember seeing that one before, so they're always staying on top of this game. And for the free users, you are restricted to this island here, but once again, it is a decent size island, and it's mainly just mule deer, and that's where I learned how to play this game, pretty much. If you do decide to pay and unlock all the weapons and all the animals and everything, it's $15 for 3 months, so it's $5 a month, and in my opinion is completely worth it. And then when that runs out, you can just play for free again, and it's still just as fun. So here's how it looks when you spawn. The character's hand looks quite goofy, but it looks a lot better when you have gloves on. They just upgraded the whole UI and everything, so I'm actually seeing all this for the first time. When you first open your map, it takes kind of a second to load, but after then, next time you open it, it loads much faster. You can bring it up with hitting M or right-clicking with your hunter mate in your hand. It shows where you are on the map, and you can draw on the map, you can set destinations for where you want to go, and then there's an inventory tab which you can also bring up individually just by hitting I on your keyboard. And since they had this big overhaul, it actually cleared out my inventory, but all my weapons and such are still there. In my inventory, I'm just going to re-equip my clothing, which helps give me better camouflage and lower the sound that I make when I'm sneaking around, because you actually can scare away animals in this game just as easily as you could in real life. You could scare away a deer before you even knew it was there. I've heard of people playing this game and they're like, oh, I've been playing for hours and I haven't seen anything, when they actually probably weren't being sneaky enough and scaring away everything around them. So I'm re-equipping my weapons now. I usually hunt with the 300 rifle and a bow, which gives me a good variety of different animals I will encounter, so I can get an ethical kill on pretty much whatever it is. And then you equip your ammunition, and if you are a subscriber to this game, you pretty much get unlimited basic ammunition, which is nice. The binoculars help a lot in tracking an animal, and you can get different calls. Like I'm equipping an elk call, and there's a bear in this area, so I'm equipping the jackrabbit call and the scent eliminator, so to cover up my scent so I can sneak up on them real close, and a blind. Now the animal calls in this game actually do work quite well. Say I use the elk call and an elk will reply if one is in the area, and then I can pinpoint where that elk is, find it, and shoot it. So going back into the game now. When you first equip your rifle, you actually have to load a round into it. So I always make sure to load that round before I actually start stalking anything. And I'm just showing off the character shadow because this is new to this game since they implemented co-op. And you can see the actions that my character make match my shadow. And just in time, that was an elk call. And when you hear an animal call, you pull up your hunter mate and you left click to identify what the animal was, and then it will show a sound wave where the call was actually coming from. And what I do when that happens is I pull up the map and I place a little red dot and I try to put it right on where that sound wave was, because over time that sound wave does go away. So that red dot helps keep that location, and it really helps with tracking the animal down. So I'm gonna get out my elk call to see if I can get the elk to call again. And I kind of half-assed it there and didn't really hold the click down long enough, but sure enough, he did respond. So once again, I was able to see his location on the hunter mate, and he's still in the general area, so I'm gonna head towards there. And so now I'm crouch walking. I'm going really slow and trying to be quiet, because if you're just gonna walk or run over, he's gonna take off and you're probably never even going to see him again. So with this game, you really actually do have to have patience. It is not for the impatient whatsoever. So once again, I'm going to call him. Get him to respond just to make sure he's not going in the opposite direction. And there he is. He's still right about in the same spot. Sometimes they actually walk kind of fast. You'd be surprised. So just sneaking over there some more until I can maybe get a visual on him. I'm going to spray myself with my scent eliminator because I'm getting close now. And this actually is not unlimited like the basic ammo, so I want to use it sparingly. There I have him in my sight now, and it looks like he stopped and maybe he got a peek at me. He might have seen me, so I laid down. I can't see him through the grass, so I'm just gonna wait a second so he's not alerted anymore. And there he is. You'll hold right click to zoom in, but you don't have to hold it down. It's actually a toggle. And I spot him. It's a Roosevelt elk. It's a male. And as you can see, this game does have dynamic weather as well, which will reduce your sight. If you're wearing a headset, that first shot will almost always make you jump. And now that he's dead, I'm just going to go over to him. I don't have to worry about being sneaky anymore because that shot just scared off everything within a pretty good radius, so it doesn't really matter anymore. That's one of the main reasons why you want to make the shot count. And these red glowing things are just, it basically lets you see tracks that the animal has left, so if I was following him, I'd be able to see them easily. And it looks like I got him in the neck. You left click to count the kill. Shows my score there. I got him in the body, right lung, liver, and stomach. That bullet traveled. Then when you click trophy shot, you can take a picture of the animal and it will store onto your gallery, and then his body and his tracks disappear, and then you can go on to the next animal. In my opinion, it's the best hunting game and you can try it for free, so why not give it a shot? Their website is thehunter.com, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments and I will respond. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.